Well, man, I just want to talk about the Sixers real fast because I'm thinking back, all the way back to when, not too far back, just back as far as Okafor's history goes. And I'm thinking back when we took him third overall. And now when we look now into the situation we are now with him and how well the Sixers are doing, um, I can't help but to be frustrated. And I don't know if anybody else thought about this, but what's really frustrating about this whole thing is Brett Brown is talking now about the fact that, you know, he's not coming out and saying it, but in words, he's saying that Jahlil Okafor doesn't fit, and that, you know, there are other players on the team that contribute in a different way than Okafor does. And maybe that Okafor's offensive ability are, while good, are not needed as much as other things are during the game, which is why Okafor's not playing. And also he said during garbage time. I want to talk about that first because that is annoying when I hear a coach talk about garbage time, especially a coach who just recently got fucking who recently just got torn out by the Golden State Warriors because apparently his team also believed in garbage time because you were up by like what 30, 20, 25, 30, and the Golden State Warriors was able to come back. So clearly there is no such thing as garbage time in a game. There isn't. And when you think like that, whether there be a good team you're going against or a bad team, you're teaching bad habits. That as long as you're up and the team is bad, then you're good. And what determines a good team or a bad team? Effort, 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 hands down. Because that is the only thing that travels. Your shot will be off one game to the next. It is not guaranteed to go in 60, 40, 50% of the night every night. And just because you're shooting good one night and just because you're the elite shooter in the league does not mean that your shot will travel to Oakland, to Oklahoma, Denver, Chicago, wherever, or even at your home arena. Another thing. So when you talk about playing Okafor in garbage time, Brett Brown, you're really frustrating me because now you're making it seem like you're trying to be slyly respectful but disrespectful to the fan base because that ain't even the point. Like you spent a third overall pick, and when you did, let's go back to that. When you spent a third overall pick on Jahlil Okafor, you piped him up, Brett Brown. You made it seem as if this was the second coming to a player like Tim Duncan, and you made it seem like you saw a whole lot of potential in Jahlil Okafor. And while you talk highly of a lot of players, you tend to talk straight to the point and very accurate about what you see. And so when you talk about him having Tim Duncan type potential, and then he comes out his rookie year and plays like that, it frustrates me that you say that you can't play him because now it looks bad on you as a coach because now it looks like when you were able to keep the team in the games, when you were tanking and you were making it, you were doing your best job to stay within a reasonable striking margin while losing games, whatever that is that you were doing during that time. You're making it seem like you didn't like you wasn't really coaching, and then now Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Dario Saric, JJ Redick, Amir Johnson, all these people are carrying you because you don't have no real good scheme, and these players are just well enough for you to win the game. Good enough. Okay, fine. We understand that this is the NBA. No knock to that. But at the same time, you're supposed to be able to maneuver things that bring out the best part of a player and how you can make that all mesh into a game. And I swear to God, I heard you, Brett Brown, also say that you were going to find a way to make it work because just getting rid of anybody was something you didn't want to do. And so now we get rid of Nerlens and we don't play Okafor. Please, somebody explain to me why that. Please explain to me how that happens. So if Nerlens, as so many Sixers fans tried to convince me, was the better fit for the team, he gets shipped out. Okafor stays. Okafor was probably the better player overall, but okay. So that's what you went with? Fine. Now, if that's the case, you don't get anything back for Nerlens. Well, barely anything. I don't recall it being anything that was tangible or helped anything towards this season or any seasons going into the future, but maybe it did. I don't know. Whatever. So let's go back to Okafor. So now you got him here and you're not playing him. This He went on a vegan diet over the off season just to make sure that his body and his conditioning was up to speed for the season. Knowing that the team was a running team, would you say he didn't fit? He was a post player who was only good for that. And he runs now. He was running back in high school. He was running the floor because there is video out there, if people want to look, of him bringing the ball up as a power forward and center in high school. So when you tell me he can't run just because he played with Duke and Coach K, who does not even run the ball, period. That's not even his style. So that is why they made him a post player at Duke. Coach K was teaching him the fundamentals of being a post player and teach him how that can go to the next level and how he can guarantee himself 20 and 10 every night. That's what he said at Duke. But okay, that's neither here nor there. So now I'm just frustrated to the point now. You kept Okafor, or you drafted him as an asset more so than a player you saw going forward. Because when you seen Porzingis, this is what I know it had to be I think because you draft Porzingis, you don't draft Porzingis, who was scouted and said to go to the Sixers all season long, and then you draft Okafor, and then you don't play him. I just don't get it. Please explain to me why you didn't just go ahead and draft Porzingis or whatever, somebody that fit.